had a beautiful time. We stopped half, we didn't finish yet. So before we continue, is there anybody wants to ask any questions, any comments to make? Yeah, no, yeah. Today I want to do something. Sabitan, okay, this is what I would like to do. Sabitan, you know that two videos you showed on the porcupine and the one more thing. If you don't mind, can you play those two, just those two videos? And I would like everybody to look at those two videos because we realize that there's so much of wealth of information from those two videos, and we want people to actually comment on it and what is your learning. See, there's no point reading, seeing, and going back if you're not reviewing it. And if you cannot review it and say it and verbalize it, we may miss the point. So we would like the leaders of every group to actually call upon your members in your group to share what you have learned from these two videos, because this is something very practical, relevant, and useful. So Sabitan, play the porcupine one.
The middle path.
A prickle of porcupines were freezing because it was an extremely cold winter and too cold to move across the country. So they moved closer together to keep each other warm. But soon they felt extremely uncomfortable because of their spines and moved away from each other, but were soon back together again to comfort each other. So they got caught in between suffering and staying close to each other. Either they poked each other or they felt terribly cold. Then they moved closer again and realized that at a certain distance it was comfortable. The prickling was tolerable and there was enough warmth so that they didn't freeze to death.
Remember, in a family too, the behaviors and the attitudes of others might prick us. But we should always remember that the warmth of love is the most important gift a family gives us, and we should stay together in spite of the little pricks.
Okay, so that's one. Then the other one, the lion, I think. Yeah.
Greatness is giving.
You wanted so badly to have a new watch, but now I don't see you wearing that watch at all.
Coach, Martin now has a much better watch than I do. I want to get a watch like his.
Are you sure, Mike, that you really need that watch? Let's listen to a story from Uncle Lion.
When Alexander the Great came to India, he very often traveled in disguise through the villages in the areas surrounding his camps. He was keen to learn the traditions and the culture of unknown lands. One day, he witnessed a situation which seemed to him to be very rare and uncommon. There was a man requesting another man to take a pot full of gold, but the other man was refusing it. He had found the gold on a piece of land that he had bought from the other, and he wanted to return it to its previous owner, but the latter refused to take it.
I don't claim this gold as mine, it is yours.
But I don't have any right towards something that was found on the land which I have already sold to you.
Finally, they approached an old wise man from the village to advise them on this issue. While Alexander was still observing the situation, they came to a happy agreement that the son of the seller and the daughter of the buyer should get married, and the gold should be kept within the family. Alexander the Great was impressed by this wisdom and righteousness. He was ashamed because of his own personal greed, as he wanted to acquire the wealth of other nations through power, violence, and war. Greatness lies in giving and not in grabbing. Be content with what you have.
Sabaton, did we show this video the last week? Uncle Lion. I thought there was a peacock. I thought there was a bird, right? This is. I think this is the one. Acceptance.
Acceptance leads to happiness.
Mike, nowadays, why is your friend Martin not joining you in the game of football?
He doesn't feel motivated, coach.
But why?
That's because he's always told to play in a defensive position. Being there, he can't score goals.
So what?
He feels that the boys who score goals get special attention and admiration from everyone else. But isn't it true, coach?
Not at all, Mike. Goals are scored due to the entire team's effort. Each player is strategically placed in the field according to their skills. Without Martin, the team's defense will be weak.
Oh, that's right.
To clear your doubts further, let us hear a story from Uncle Lion.
Once upon a time, a parrot came home upset and confused.
My dear Poppy, you look sad today. What's wrong, sweetheart?
Mom, I hate my stupid beak.
But why? I think it's beautiful.
All the other birds have much cooler beaks. Spoonbill, pelican, hawk, eagle, all of them.
He may be right. They do have very nice beaks. Poppy, my dear, you should go and see Macaw. He will know what to do. He's the wisest of the parrots, and he lives in the tallest tree in the forest. Yes, Macaw will know what to do.
Excuse me, Macaw. I have a problem. Please help.
Oh dear Poppy, what is it?
I have a stupid beak. Why can't I have a cool beak like spoonbill, pelican, hawk, or eagle?
Haha, you are right. They do have cool beaks. Okay, come with me. I will explain. Poppy, do you see that spoonbill over there eating worms?
Yes.
Now tell me, do you like eating worms?
Yuck, that would be disgusting.
Well, Poppy, that's what the spoonbill's beak is designed for. Now see that pelican catching fish. Do you want to eat fish?
Oh, I can't think of eating anything worse.
Haha, so the pelican's beak for you would not work either. Come, I'll show you something more. Poppy, look at that hawk and eagle. They are hunting rabbits and mice. Do you also want to eat them?
Yuck, rabbits, mice, never.
Then you shouldn't aspire to have a hawk's beak or an eagle's. Come, Poppy, let's go back. How about having small seeds?
They are not so bad, but my favorite is Brazil nuts.
That's good. I think I have a few here. Would you like one?
Yes, please.
Now tell me, Poppy, if you had the beak of a spoonbill, pelican, hawk, or eagle, do you think that you could eat that Brazil nut?
No, I would not be able to eat these nuts at all.
You see, dear Poppy, you have been designed a certain way with certain skills, attributes, and tastes. Don't waste your life being envious of the capacities of others. Just make sure that you know what you're good at and why you are here.
Thanks, McCall, for making me understand and feel special.
You are designed for a specific purpose. Don't worry about the skills and attributes of others. They have their own purpose that probably won't suit you. You have the ability to do remarkable things just as you are. Work on that purpose. Get better at those skills. Be the change.
Okay, so two beautiful, very nice videos were seen. And both of them have got very powerful messages. However, in looking at the video, you will be able to review, be able to sense, but the main thing is that we need to imbibe and really contemplate, contextualize, and then evaluate to what extent are we manifesting that. So what is the message that this thing is giving to you? We like, believe your team, who's in your team, the team members in your team to call them out and invite them and then ask them to narrate what the experiences are for these two. Then we go group by group like that.
Sister Mailing, are you there?
Meaning,
Mailing? Or Sister Lata? Uday Kumar?
see, whatever, doesn't matter how, we are not asking for something right, but we're just asking you to engage and speak out what you think. What was the lesson? What is the thing that we need to do?
Brother Mukesh, you'd like to try?
Yeah, Sai Ram. Can you hear me all right?
Oh, sure, yes.
Okay, thank you. I'd like the second one, it struck me the most, the acceptance. We should not try and emulate somebody. Whatever our strength is, we should build on our own strength rather than try and be like somebody else who has other strengths. So I think most of the time we look towards becoming like somebody else in a football team or whatever sports we play or athletics, etc. So, Sairam.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. So don't emulate others. Others? Anybody else? Billy?
Most of them, some of them are not here tonight.
Group 2?
Sister Sharmini, are you here? Sister Sharmini, are you here? Sister Cindy?
Hi. So I think for me, what stood out was being aware of certain people in my life that could be the porcupines, and take accountability of them in my life. So instead of playing victim or blaming others for how I feel, being mindful about it and watch from as if you're standing at the bank of the river and not get carried away with emotions. So I think that kind of ties back the porcupine story with the what Macau was trying to say. So if you understand what was happening or what's happening, then it's easier to accept. And when you accept what's happening, then it's easier to lead a happy life. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. That's a very nice feedback, because the key to happiness is that, and if we just accept certain people, just as Swami said, first understanding, then adjustment. So basically, that aspect of it, if you can apply, then it leads us to happiness or awareness. Thank you so much. Very nice. Who else?
The Sharmini, are you here, sister?
Anything that you want to say, it doesn't matter. Just we want to hear your voice and opinion.
Yeah. I think that's a body runner from group 2. The rest are not here.
Sairam.
Sairam, yes, Mr. Rajesh.
Yes. Swami says each and every human being is a divine one. So each and everybody has something special in them. They have to develop that skill and that goodness in them instead of imitating other people. So they'll be very happy with that. That's what I understand. Not and to be satisfied with what they have and develop their quality and everything in a good way. Then each and everybody is very happy. Instead of comparing and criticizing and doing all this. That's what I understood.
Yeah. Thanks, sister. Nice. So don't look left, don't look right. No need to compare. We go keep on looking straight. Thank you, sister. Any so Sabaton, you finished, huh? This group you finished.
Yeah.
Okay. Group 3. Group 3 is Uttara.
Sairam, brother Suresh. Yeah. Group 3. Is brother Rakesh here? Brother Rakesh. Sairam. Brother Rakesh, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good. Yeah, can you share with us?
Yeah, I would like to share the second picture just now about the parrot, the marker one. The lesson that I got is actually we are actually all unique beings in our own ways. So always be contented with what you are, in spite of our shortcomings and our shortfalls and our differences. So you can be only happy if you have life satisfaction. Don't compare yourself with others because they have their own race to run. Be happy of what you are and being what you are. So that's the lesson that I could understand, sister. Thank you, Saira.
Very nice, Rakesh. But a nice point analogy is that when we are born, all of us are not on the same line. Some of us are in the front, some at the back, because the birth does not mean the starting point. Because many of us have lived many lives, or some of us are going to start new lives. So the question is, we are only competing with our own self. So no need to look left, no need to look right. Everybody is special. Very nice. Thanks.
Actually, it's a process of evolving, brother.
Yes.
I think it's always is evolution for us day by day.
Correct. Everything.
That's the main basic point.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Jeannie?
Yeah, I think how about Sister Kasturi? Are you here? Sister Kasturi? Sister Kasturi, are you here? Or can we have Brother Ashok Nanwani? Brother Ashok Nanwani, are you here? No, Brother Ashok, no. How about Sister Pakyam? Sairam, Sister Pakyam? Or how about Brother Suresh Raja? Brother Suresh Raja? Oh, quiet. So how about Sister Sherin? Sister Sherin, are you here? Or Sister Suja? Sister Suja? I think
Okay.
no one is answering.
Just a minute. I just want to tell two things which I learned from each one thing that about the word the peacock is that, see, sometimes the we get a feeling of that we are inferior, and we'll try to look at others to go upon and copy them. I mean, you can take a practical way that it has seen that a lot of children, they succeed and they become very, very, very high profile and superstar or something. And then they feel to neglect their parents who have brought them from very poor upbringing. So that feeling that, oh, my parents, or if they would have been some big shot, maybe I could have shown to the public or something like that. So that sort of inferior feeling comes in the children or the people. Sometimes it has been seen. So it so happens that the person has to realize that it is their upbringing that has brought me to this celebrating position. So if we can, the story tells that we should not have the inferior feeling that I'm inferior, because in fact, it should be a matter of pride that being from a poor family, it is their upbringing, it is my hard work that has brought me to this position. So that's, I feel that when these sort of situations in practical life comes, we have to learn from this lesson, that this story, that we have to be what we are and we have to accept what we have reached. That is a story. I mean, the different way of I thought in this story. And from the first story, I feel that there are problems. Everything is not 100% perfect. Like the same story which the porcupines is being told here, we have in ships also. See, we have a survival at sea course where we are told that if the ship is sunk and you are in the open sea and you are drifting in the water with the life jacket, the water is very cold, and you have very limited source of food. So we were told that if you are in the sea and 3-4 of you are together, you should hold each other hand and make a circle. So what happens that the heat of one body is transmitted to another person, and the heat loss, which is the energy loss, and which is towards which comes from the food, then you can survive longer if you come closer, because one person is warming the water and that warm water is touching the other person, and this is how your heat loss is reduced. So in this porcupine story, we have to learn that even the person is bad, even the situations are bad, what we can extract, and we should compromise. We should think that this is what is best for me and live our life with that sort of attitude. Sairam.
Sairam. Thank you, brother. Very nice.
Yeah, our group, maybe Sister Kamlesh. Sister Kamlesh, are you here?
Sairam sister, yes, I'm here. But
Great. Yeah.
no, I joined very late, just a few minutes ago, because I had some guests from the Satsang school. And yeah, so I'm not sure what the story was.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe I'll just share a bit on the porcupine story. I feel that living together in a family or in society will surely have its difficulties, but with love and understanding and also a giving nature, difficulties can be defeated. And the parrot story, I also feel that we must not be envious, we must not compare, because we each have our own type of skills to benefit others and to also meet our own life's purpose. So yeah, that's from group 3, Brother Suresh.
Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sairam. I think I was also in group 3. I'm Sister Ramani.
Oh, all right. Yes, Sister Rahmani from Sri Lanka, is it?
Yes,
Yes.
I just
yeah.
thinking of just one thing of the porcupine's story, where we during the COVID time we were also like these porcupines. We couldn't get together, and we like we didn't have certain things that we needed. But at one point, we managed to get permission for the young adults to go around, like collecting food from whoever who could give cooked lunch, and then distribute it among the beggars. So at that time, even like we were in such difficult situation, so they used to come and ask us, like if they find a place like where they sell bread or something. It was a luxury item for us. And and if we had something excess in our households, we used to give. We couldn't even get close like the porcupines, but sometimes they leave it on the gate and go and we take it in. So we that was a very it was a very nice feeling of, getting together, the Sai family. And somehow or other we got through, there are things that we take for granted are like luxury items at that time. So it was, I was just thinking of this COVID situation when I heard this story. Saira.
Thank you.
Ram, Sister
Sai Ram.
Ramani underwent a bypass operation last week and she has joined today. Very nice of her.
Yeah,
Sai
actually,
Ram.
sorry. Yes, sister, carry on.
Sai Ram, this is Kamlesh here. Okay, if it is that it's that porcupine story being discussed just now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so just a little example I take from my own family, like the porcupines. Like just now, Sister Ramani said that somebody said everybody has their own skills, right? Different, like in a joint family also. Like I come from a joint family, and nobody is good at everything. So like then I realized that being in a joint family, it's a great benefit because somebody is good at one thing, another daughter-in-law is good at another thing. So, like it was the whole family made up to like, 100% thing. Like somebody's good in cooking this dish or the other dish, or in like knitting, stitching clothes. And then we used to stitch clothes also for for seva and all that. So all that went all together from the whole family, some stitching clothes, some cooking food. Like in the family, it goes on like that. And then even outside, like when we go for sevas, then it goes on for the sevas also. Same, like the family is a close unit of skills when they all come together, like the porcupines. Sai Ram.
Saira.
Yeah. Actually, I was thinking that last week our group we had some new members, but we don't have their names in the group list yet. So yeah, it would be good if we can have their name and contact so that we can also, like just now I didn't know who to call because I forgot that there was Sister Ramani from Sri Lanka. Yeah, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sister. Thank you. Group 4.
Sairam. Group 4, when I saw that porcupine story, I remembered Swami says about leaving the feeling of I and mine and being in a broader outlook to share with others, that kind of a thing. So when the porcupines got together, they managed to keep themselves warm. Individually they were suffering, and together they were saved basically from the cold. So that's one feeling I got. So that's my group. I don't know who all are in today and whether they've heard the story.
Anybody wants to voice out? Okay.
Saira, Brother James. Okay, just to share experience. My wife and I used to go to a vegetarian restaurant, nice one in PJ. where the food is more subtly. It's a young couple, you know. So they are doing quite well. The wife graduated from Japan, and the restaurant is very clean, right? Very disciplined lady boss. The husband is very kind and nice, you know. The thing is interesting. My wife a few times told me, the lady boss very bossy, a lot of ego, not very friendly, not very nice, you know, telling me this. But I have a different vision of her. I said, no, the wife, the lady boss is very good, you know. You know, the restaurant is very clean, the food are very subtly, you know, and the worker are doing their duty well, you know, because of the lady boss very disciplined. So my wife also told me, she brought her friend to this same restaurant. The friend also make the same comment. You know. That means the lady boss very bossy, ego, you know, not friendly, you know. So even the food is nice, it's subtly, they don't feel like coming to this restaurant to eat, you know. Sometimes we go to a restaurant to eat, you know, not to judge people, you know. So I got no problem with the boss and also with the lady boss. So I said, no. The lady boss is very friendly. You know, then of course I quite often go there with my wife. So for me to talk to the lady boss was never a problem. And you know, instead of waiting for her to greet me, I will greet her first, you know. I said, how are you? Today business okay? And all that, you know. So become very friendly. And then she become also friendly to me and also towards my wife, you know. So what happened was, then the perception of my wife are totally changed, you know. Then as time go on, they can, you know, like you go there is no more test situation already, you know. So sometimes in a group situation, right? It depends on how you view the situation, how you can. There is a weakness, but how to overcome it. So this is the weakness and how to overcome it. You know, if you want the boss to be more friendly to her. Then she'll be more friendly to you. Is it? That's simple only, you know. But lady is lady, like, you know. Sometimes we have to lead them to understand this, you know. Right? Lady are normally more sensitive. Sorry, sister, if you don't get angry with me. You know, I'm just saying something that is quite common, you know. So the same situation also in the center also the same thing, you know. Right? How the center going to run? Right? Who's going to clean the altar, clean the toilet? Who's going to arrange the center? You know? And each individual got their own. Who's going to cook? Who's going to prasadam bring? You know? Everybody got different work to do now. Who's going to do the repair and all that? So just like the porcupine, in the center also the same. We see each individual got their talent. Like for example, we have one person who like to do seva, but he's rough, might not be knowledgeable, doing work a bit what I call rough side, not like the professional type, you know. But then the center, there are people who are good, but they don't have the time to come, or they are staying far away, or they will not get involved with this type of thing. But this person might not be clever, might not be, you know, but he got a heart to do, you know. So opportunity always given for him to do. Sometimes he do the work okay, sometimes not okay. But do we complain? No, we don't complain. We feel very happy. Even he do little bit improvement, we will say thank you, you know, he has done his best. The worst is, if not done properly, call professional to do, pay money, that's it, right? But opportunity for them to do seva. So this is also like group in a center like the porcupine, how to adjust ourselves and give everyone a chance, the opportunity to improve their talent, bring out their, you know, their talent, the goodness in them, you know, right? So that's how I see it, Sairam.
Sairam. Thank you, James. Thank you. Very nice comments and very nice way of transforming people. Okay, so we've just finished this video and many of you commented, and just the idea is to see different perspectives and also learn from other people's perspectives as well. Okay, so now Sabaton, you carry on.
Okay. Then Swami goes on to say, I think we've discussed the answer to this question. Question was, in your own personal experience, how is goodness the way to extinguish desires and cultivate true happiness? And we have gone through the answers provided by our Group 2 members last week. And now, Swami says in the lecture which was given, I've quoted it at the beginning of the slides. Okay, Swami says, correct your faults and sanctify your life. Okay, this is in regards to goodness over greatness. So Swami gives this example. So when we talk about education, he says he describes the characteristics of a good man in regards to education. A good man, he says, it ripens education in a good man, okay, ripens into wisdom and makes his life an ideal one. However, education in a bad man, he gets immersed in disputations and education itself gets polluted. The Swami goes on to use another example of wealth. He says, a good man who possesses wealth, used for charity and righteous causes, he redeems his life by sacrifice. A bad person promotes arrogance and pride and ultimately causes his own downfall. And finally, he describes strength. He says, a good man with strength, so he uses strength to enable him to help the weak and serve the society. However, a bad man uses strength to cause harm to people and harass the weak. Thus, education, wealth, and physical prowess derive their value from the way they are used. It is only when the individual is transformed and becomes good that the society can be changed for the better. Men must engage themselves in a constant process of self-correction instead of seeking to find fault in others. Okay, so I would just like to open the floor and invite anyone to give your comment. And what do you think Swami is speaking of here? Why did he use these examples? And maybe which one of these three examples would be most relevant or resonate the most with you, and why? You can just unmute and share your opinions, Sarah. Or do you know of any examples or exemplaries of people who have used education to the best, or have used up the wealth in such a way that you like to speak about them, or some person who uses his strength in a positive way, in a more fruitful way to help and serve the society? Anything about this slide? Anyone?
I try to share one. Talking about this brother, a very interesting brother. A lot of strength, a lot of boost strength. So do say, wow, it's very good, very rough. Just now I've said the same person. Okay. Education-wise is not so good. Just last week, he called me because I sent a message which I sent to many groups, talking about ego and all that. Now this brother has ego, So when he received the message in the group, he called me, Of course, his education not very high. So he asked me, James, can you explain the one you sent talking about me? He said, talking about me, I said, brother, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying to everybody, Oh, yeah. No, he said, yeah. Can you explain to me? Then when I explained to him, he understood. Actually, the message is also meant good for him because even his family member, friends who know him, know that he has a weakness that his ego is very high, you know. So to bring down the ego, that is actually Swami message. It's meant for everybody, but it's just that he saw it inside the group. He he want to understand it better. So he purposely asked me to explain more clear about it. So I explained to him now. Of course, we see this brother improving year by year. Now he's much better than last time. As I said before, even his mother, sister are very happy that he come to Baba Center and learn a lot of things, you know. But he cannot be perfect because it is nature. It's nature. Some people are like that. Some people can look like the way they talk, you know, might not be soft and sweet, but could be a bit boastful, you know. There are people who are like that. Some people, when you speak to, they are very soft and very sweet. Some people, they are very harsh and very hard, you know. So we must understand the person in order to, to help him. We have to use ways and means to to smoothen him. Is a long journey, but at least you can see the person improving year by year. Sairam.
Thank you, Brother James. Anyone else would like to add on?
Yeah, Sairam, brother. I just want to tell one example. When I came to Thailand in 93 and 94-5, I was going to the north of Thailand. And there's a Mekong River where you can, it's one side is Laos, one side is Myanmar, and one side is Thailand. So when I moved from Thailand, in Thailand, there's a lot of prosperity, Mercedes cars, big bungalows, houses. And the moment I crossed to other side in the Laos, it was like a village sort of setting, no paved, no roads, no good cars, no shops, no people in a very shabbily dressed and all. And then the same boat took me to the Myanmar where I saw there's a big casino and people are doing gambling. So when I came back to Thailand, it was just one day trip, a thought came into my mind that the same river, Mekong River, the land both sides is very fertile in Laos side, in Thailand side. The languages also, they speak nearly the same. At the same time, physically, all of them very hardworking, both sides. If you take Laos, river doesn't make them separate in the strength and the mentality, in the language also sometimes very similar. So I was thinking why there is so much of disparity from one side of the river to other. And then the thought, when I went up, I saw that it's the leadership which mattered a lot. That said, there was a communist regime, this side was a monarchy. Of course, and this side was a military government. So I was wondering that, but King Rama IX is very well regarded in Thailand, and he's called Father of the Nation. And he traveled around the country, seeing the geography. He made dams. He made the north area, which was afflicted with drugs. He made them grow some cash crops by which the economy could grow. That one tambun, one product, that sort of those things, like each area should develop somewhere the rice, somewhere the grain, somewhere sugar cane, somewhere fruits like this. So this is what happened when he traveled around and saw the people's mindset. He because his vision was to grow the country, to come out of the poverty, and that's what the Thailand became very progressive, and still it is richer than all the remaining two countries. Whereas the leaderships in those countries, they didn't look into a deeper sense of growing the people. Instead of grabbing the power, instead of ruling the thing with their own might. So all the things like education, wealth, and strength, It combines, and if the king is good, if the ruler is good, if he thinks about always about the welfare of the people will be happy. But if the from the top, if the leader's character is selfish, he wants to show his strength, he wants to keep the wealth with him, then the country will deteriorate. So this is a clear example that if the goodness is there in the leadership, it will really help people in that country to grow. And this is what Swami is talking about. Saira.
Sairam, thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Manuj. Anyone else who would like to add on?
Yeah,
Sairam,
Sairam.
brother.
Yeah.
Sorry. Carry on.
I'm sorry, Brother Rama. This is Shamini. I just want to say about when it's come to education, my grandfather, I think in early 1900, he went to med school in a heart, and third year he left that school and he joined English school. So he learned everything, and then from the heart, he built a first English Hindu school in Sri Lanka. And when he died, he didn't have any money because he selfless service sacrifice. So my aunt said even to buy milk. I think he had TB, so they couldn't treat. And like about a couple of years back, my mom died, and people from village, they said even my grandma was keeping that school. They had to pay the teachers like 70, 80, like less than 100,000 like that. So it's not easy. You have to sacrifice a lot because their main thing is to help other people, which they didn't praise Sai Baba, but that was in that. And even I remember when I was a little girl, my mom, just without thinking twice, she removed a Mangala Sutra and gave to my uncle to go abroad. So like what I learned from Swami is you don't need to think about ourselves being if you want to be selfless, you have to think about others first. So Swami will somehow help us. And even like Porcupine Story, another one, a couple of days, we were going through a very difficult time in every day. But I was like, this is the big time. Then I always think what Dr. Suresh Govind say, like shift your mind, shift your thought. So like I was keep on giving myself a pep talk. Then I listened to Swami, and Swami say, have confidence that I won't let you go. Like Swami will start to send messages, right? So I thought of sharing today. I think in our lives, like 100%, or no, 99%, we will be going through roller coaster ride, or I will be left, or my family will be left in no exit kind of situations. But that 1% Swami start to take over. So when you do good work and God work, Swami's hand will be there. So thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, thank you, Sister Sharmini. Anyone else who would like to share?
Sairam, brother.
Sairam, Brother Rama. Go ahead.
This part on education, Swami says, good man, bad man. I think what we have got to realize is a good man can become a bad man, a bad man can become a good man. So we should be very careful about passing judgment about whether the man is a good man or bad man. Because depending on situations, he can come out of the goodness and he may reflect things which are supposed to be bad. So how are we going to draw the line? I feel that it all depends on the situation. Where are you? If you are with good associates, good surrounding, like you got one or two brothers who are teachers, good neighbors, you can become good and maintain that goodness. And through your education, you ripen and it becomes wisdom and you make your life an ideal one. And then On the other hand, if you look at certain people, they do not have the same opportunity as their first person. So because of the associates, he gets into a situation where he becomes egocentric. He is like a man who wants to be the first, and he wants to dash everybody else with his opinions, and he will just slam his thumb on the table to prove a point, and that he enjoys the agitation. And when he comes out of the argument, he has so much of ego because he feels he has the knowledge. And then over a period of years, you can see that his character has become slumped because of the ego in him. So such a person would be very difficult to get along, despite the fact that he has got the education in him to overcome it, but he doesn't realize the right part of doing it because of the associates, and therefore he's caught in a trap, and he has got to come out of it. And he can only come out of it. One way is self-realization, which will be very difficult at a young age because of the associates. But to make a break and come out of it, he needs good friends to come around him, whereby they set examples of themselves to him, and he is able to realize that in life you have got to be humble. You got to realize that in order to be friends, you got to be friendly, flexible. You got to show love. And all these are supposed to be part of the education which he has got to add on from what he has read and achieved in school. So this addition in him will make him a good man. So the chances of he becoming a good man are very good if he can just open himself up to be humble, to mean that he is slowly diminishing his ego and then bringing out the love. So even if he gets into a hot dispute, like a debate or a fireside where a group of people are creating or having a discourse and arguments, he is able to go into the argument and bring out the points like a flower, and then he shows the relationship and comes down with a good conclusion, giving himself and giving others an opportunity to appreciate what has been discussed as that which exists in life, exists in real life. So these are things which comes over experience. And it is highly possible that in a certain period of life, say between 17 and 25, you might get caught in a situation where, without the guidance of anyone, you would want to fight each and every battle, arguments, and create in you a certain righteous conduct which you think is righteous, but it isn't. And it blows your character. And then your character goes out of shape because of the ego. Because you are immersed in the disputations, and the education you had is not solving the problem of giving you a clear character in you, because you have polluted yourself. So you have got to come out of that situation. Similarly, when you talk about wealth, it is nice to see a person with money using the money for his needs and giving the surplus for charity. In that way, the minute he stretches his hand and gives a charity, depending on what he can afford to give charity, even if it is 10%, and slowly the 10%, which can be $10 for every 100, and then when it comes to big sum, if he earns as much as 100,000, 10% would be a commanding sum in order to sort problems out for the needy. That would be a sacrifice on his part, and he has learned the benefit of the sacrifice because it comes back to make him popular, and the popularity is because of the love he had shown, and he's floating in this love without putting out feelings of ego. He's not egocentric in that.
Fair enough.
However, a bad person is the person who uses the money for all kinds of purposes which are not dharmic, adharmic. He goes into gambling, he goes into drinks, he earns, he has his flashy cars, he does everything, but there is something there in which he feels very insecure. So he goes about doing the wrong things to get the satisfaction, and then he feels happy only to get up in the morning with a heavy head to realize that he has not achieved what he wants. And that is because he has got into this trap, the trap of trying to achieve it by shortcuts and routes which does not promote charity, righteous cause, and therefore he is not able to get the love which he really wants, but he cannot get it. So he is caught in that situation. How does he improve on this? He needs a personal coach, or he needs good associates. He has got to be influenced by some good teacher somewhere who would bring him out of this shadow into light. So that break point is important. When is it coming? We wouldn't know when is it coming. But the opportunities are there for him to step out, but he doesn't realize he is in a trap. So he has got to come out only with good associates, good teachers, good parent guidance. And then that would promote his self-realization, because he is always being reminded that when he takes that step, he will get many more returns and love coming from the birth, coming from somewhere unknown. He has got to experience that. And he can only experience that if he runs into severe problems. But life has taken him in this line where he has been suffocated with the life which is leading, which he feels that that is the real way of promoting happiness within him, when in fact it is damaging him. He may get involved with yellow culture, a culture which promotes negativity within him. And he is celebrating because there is money, there are things which will give him temporary pleasure, which will give him that kind of a float which he is enjoying. And then he gets into trouble like sickness and disease, which will bring his downfall.
Thank you.
Or even there could be a sudden third of events which will make him come out like a beggar on the streets.
Yeah.
The turn of fate.
Yeah.
So what would be the right direction depends very much on how the environment is composed of teachers, parents, friends, associates, employers, and and such kind of good associations, temples, churches, somebody somewhere, a good priest, a good teacher, a good brother, a good friend's brother, somebody somewhere has struck him as a perfect example to follow. And then he is led out of these misconceptions on how to manage his wealth, how to go about it. And the best way is to get involved with charity, and that charity is just on what is affordable, but it is charity. So that promotes within him a feeling of happiness which can only be achieved from his own experience and realization. As for strengths, God, good man, bad man, I tell you the story of a very good man. Actually, I can't forget. Since I was at the age of 18, this man is a tin miner. He is very successful in his business. He had a wonderful wife in a large family of sons. They were all well brought up, perfect father, where each one of the sons were given or taught on a hobby which the son has picked up, and the father guided him to turn the hobby into something which he can continue until his school life or even after. So each one of the sons took up a hobby like photography, and another who kept fishes in a what you call a glass cage aquarium, and another who was very interested in painting, and another who was interested in cooking. The father encouraged all of them. At the same time, they managed their schoolwork also very well. At the same time, when you meet the children, the father and the mother, it's a great pleasure. Why is it a pleasure? There is such warmth in the family. Such warmth because of the love, the energy they throw, the children as well as the parents, to anybody who goes to the house, to anybody. The gardener, everybody, driver, everybody is a family member like. This is not stating the fact that the father is a multi-millionaire because he was involved in some business, very successful. Then there is such a thing as an error of judgment. A good man can just fall into a weak state. A weak state. How does it come? It comes from sitting at a table and having a drink, talking about business and other things, and they all become close associates. 1 day, 2 days, 1 month, 2 months, not realizing that 1 or 2 of the members in that group held an ulterior motive, which this good man did not realize. And like a good friend, he agrees to whatever they wanted or suggested, like having a simple game and this play for a few dollars. This little gambling was nothing. But over a period of time, the smart crooks began to entice this man to pay a little bit extra and extra and extra. And what happened? He was caught in a situation because he's not an able player, and he lost in the bet. And he lost everything. What is he going to do for his wife and children? This good man did not have anybody down there who could help him in that situation, because this good man was committed to pay whatever is due for the loss suffered in that game. That's a good man. He's honest about it. But then he was not able to manage his family and whatever he has done, and they've got a long way to go. So what did he do? He was very restless for 1 or 2 weeks. And then one day, he took his shotgun, went into his estate, and shot himself, so that these bad fellows would not be able to take the money from the family since he's no more around. In that way, he saved his family, but he lost his life. And the people of that town lost a good man. What I'm trying to tell you is the strength which is necessary in order to overcome this problem has got to be worked on by this man. But he didn't do that. Rather, he was in a trap and he couldn't come out of it, and he took the shortcut. So the good man has got into that situation. And that situation is a bad situation. And that bad situation was caused by associates. And then it happened at a momentary moment where he was suddenly caught in a situation and he could not do anything but to agree to pay. But he could not pay. If he did pay, his family would suffer. Therefore, he took his life within 2 or 3 weeks.
Good example.
The
Very good
subject is on strengths.
Yeah.
How should this man should have handled the strengths?
Yeah.
So we can say that in the first place, he should not have gone out with those friends. But on the other hand, they were good friends.
Yeah.
He didn't realize that there were 1 or 2. So what I'm saying is there are situations in life where you've got to keep an eye in order to be guided.
Yeah.
And the best way Swami has taught to come out of this kind of situation is to recite the Namasmarana. If you were to do that, you will be able to come out of the situation because the conscience will tell you what to do and what not to do. And then you can hold on to the bracket of a good man and not fall into this other bracket where you get a lot of harm would have happened to you. So this situation is merely to inform that any situation, any moment can weaken you or strengthen you. How are you going to overcome this situation when you do not have anybody? When you think you do not have anybody, you're not supposed to think that way. Swami's way is he's always with you. So if he's always with you, you can come out of this fear if you were to recite the Namasmarana. But this great man, a very nice, loving man, did not have the benefit of that part of the spiritual education which would have given him the strength and also the intuitive power and also the ability and also the conscience and also the heart to guide him out of that terrible situation that he was caught in. But that will not be a problem to us or to you because of the good values Swami has taught us, so that we will be in the process of self-correction, self-assertion, and be self-guided by listening to our heart, which is listening to Swami, in order to be mature and lead a life that will not put us or get us into that situation. Sairam.
Sairam, brother, thank you so much. So there was a very detailed explanation of all the three components. Sabatin?
Okay, so thank you so much, everyone who shared. I guess if there's something you can take from this is, first we'll just look at what Swami says here. Correct your faults and sanctify your life. And he goes on to explain the role of education, the role of wealth, and the role of strength. So all these aspects are practical aspects that we, it's as if these are all tools that we use in our day-to-day experience. And Swami says here that these tools such as education, wealth, and strength derive their power, okay, from the value and the way they are used. So if we have been through, I mean, most of us are well versed with how SSE is conducted and how the human values are integrated. And the point here is that when it comes to practicality, we should navigate all these education, these tools here, education, wealth, and strength, by using human values, using the values that Swami has taught us through our SSE classes and instilled through a lot of our seva activities as well. So using that to navigate all three of these and then practice it in our own life. So there's no point if, it's just a satsang and if we do not practice this. So the invitation is for all those who are here today to use human values and practice it in terms of education, wealth, and strength. Okay.
Okay,
So,
Sabatin, one point. I just want to, I think I just recall some things where Swami mentioned about sanctifying your life. So this area of sanctifying your life in the field of education, Baba gave 3 examples of jnanam. And I thought that was very nice. See, whatever we're doing for education, whatever that we're doing, we are getting jnanam, knowledge. We're getting knowledge. Baba said there are 3 types of knowledge. The first part is where the knowledge comes in and the senses are decoding those knowledge. This is called sahaja jnanam. Sahaja jnanam means it is just at the superficial level where information just comes inside, received by the so-called senses, and it just remains there. But if you take a little bit of another effort, it goes to second level of knowledge, which is called yuti yutha jnanam, which is the jnanam related to analyzing, related to contextualizing, going deeper. Then you, Baba, but of all these, now this is the best part. I think this is the breakthrough, where Baba said the third jnanam or third level of jnanam is what is called Ishvara Prita jnanam. What does it mean? It means that whatever knowledge you get, whatever knowledge you receive in this world, if it is going to be decoded, as long as it do everything and anything to please God, that's it. We got no more problem. See, this is a very nice way of simplifying the whole thing. Simplifying the subject is any information that you receive, if you want to act on it and produce results, as long as you know Ishvara Prita Jnana means anything to please God, then it's sanctified, no problem. See, very simple. There's no other complication in this particular analysis, and it's a simplified way of looking at it. Take the second level, wealth. It's simply this simple. See, I like to put the thing in nice frame. Baba said, how do you sanctify wealth? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. If the individual has got kama, which is desire, for moksha, you have nothing to worry, because then your artha will always be within the confinement or within the borders of dharma. Then you got no problem with the wealth. The problem with wealth is when the kama is not directed to moksha. That means we are not sanctifying. Sanctifying means sanctify the thoughts. So whatever we are living for is for a higher vision, is for a higher cause. Once we have such a desire, excessive desire, for that liberation, you got nothing to worry. The wealth that you're accumulating will always be within the borders of dharma. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha becomes a formula to sanctify how to get wealth. Otherwise, you can find when you get little bit of money, you will have more greed, it just keeps on going on like that. That doesn't mean a spiritual person should not be wealthy, just that wealth should not possess you, you should possess wealth. That the relationship must be very right. Then comes to strength. It's very simple. Baba gave this very good example. Swami said, even Hanuman had lot of strength. It is not that he didn't have strength, he had lot of strength. But his strength, when directed towards Rama, became sanctified. You see, he redeemed his life. He managed to bring everything back to its pristine glory when the strength is directed towards his master. In the same way, whatever strength we have, whether we have intelligent strength or we have the power, we have muscles, whatever. But if we are doing everything and anything for the purpose of the master, then our strength becomes sanctified. You see, this is how you sanctify it. But that means we have power in our life. But if we do not know how to sanctify it, it will become a great liability. And this is where the problem is. That's what the difference between good man and bad man is. Good man directs it to somewhere else. Bad man directs it to somewhere else. That's all the difference is. Only the direction is different. So this is how we should take, I think, what I'm just pulling from what Swami has said in different contexts, so that we can park it and make sense of these three statements, three things that you have highlighted here.
What was the second name? Sahaj. First is Sahaj. Second one?
Sahaja Jnanam. Yutti Yutha. Y-U-T-I dash Y-U-T-A Jnanam. Yutti
Yutha. Yeah. Okay.
That means it is meant for analyzing, decoding, contextualizing, and everything. But the best is Ishvara Prita Jnanam, which means to say whatever knowledge you have is always meant for the purposes of pleasing God. You can never go wrong. Once I had this opportunity on the stage with Swami, when everybody went for lunch. So I was there on the stage, and then Swami was there. Then I asked Swami, what work should I do? Yeah, you're already doing research work, science work you're doing. Yes, what is the project? Give me a project that I can do. Baba said to me, whatever you do, always do for humanity, improving the humanity. You can never go wrong. See, simple, that finish. That's it. It's a blanket thing. Whatever you do, always think of humanity and you'll never go wrong. So that was a powerful line that Baba gave on the stage to me, which means to say it is whatever we do, in whichever occupation. Many of you are doing, a lot of us are in different occupations, but whatever we do, think of Ishvara Prita Jnana. That means this is meant for pleasing God. This is meant for pleasing God. When you continue to live our life from morning to night, trying to please God in everything that you do, you're already living a yajna. That means the whole day is a yajna, whole day is a puja, whole day is a homa. Like that, that's how to live the life. Then wealth, whatever wealth we have, all the time, how do we sanctify it? Sanctification is turning the mind towards making the artha desire, this whatever it is, we must get our liberation. Once we have that possession, your wealth becomes automatically sanctified, and you will definitely gain it only through dharmic means. Why? Because fear, sin that comes in, love God, fear, sin, morality, and society. These three things comes inside nicely and captures us in like that. So this is the, this is like a steering wheel of the life, where you must hold the steering wheel like this and drive the car in the best possible manner. Then everything will be very peaceful, happy, joyful. You'll find happiness inside the heart, and everything that you do becomes sanctified. This is a simple way of, I mean, this is my 2 cents worth of thinking how to make it simplified. Spirituality must be very simple, brothers and sisters. It cannot be more complicated than life. If life is already complicated, if spirituality is 3 times more complicated, then you find life cannot be. It has to be simple, must be the way, so that easily we can address all the complications of life. Actually, the whole idea is that's what simple living, high thinking. You see, Baba said, simple living, high thinking. What does it? Simply, you just everything, you must have the knowledge, and you must pull the knowledge to the right spot and address the issues. So this 3 is powerful, that Sabitan has put like this nicely for us to see. Sabitan's team.
Okay, thank you, Suresh. Now let's move on. So we are now at the final question. The question is, what is the true knowledge gaining which all days become happy days? How do we procure that higher learning? What is that true knowledge gaining which all days become happy days? How do we procure that higher learning? So let's invite our group members to share their ideas and thoughts. Sister Geeta, are you here, sister?
Are you referring to me, Sabitan?
You're the only Geeta I know in this group.
Yes, I think so.
Yes, Sister Geeta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm constantly wired to Swami's teaching. Yes, in every way I am, whether it's preparing my SSC class or post program class. It's through that I've got keep the connection. And of course, other things like chanting, hearing chants, constantly wired in Swami's teachings actually, and sometimes listening to Satsang or YouTube. Of course, my reading son is not so good because I tend to be more interested in listening to satsangs rather than reading about, because unless I need to read for my lesson preparation, I do that. But I try to keep wired in as much as possible because I feel stronger. I feel the strength within. And anytime, I have that feeling that things are not moving too well, I always fall back on the teachings that Swami has given everyone. So in that way, I do have a feeling of happiness in the heart. That's all, Sairam. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Geeta. Can we have Sister Sharmini?
Yes, brother, I'm here.
Yes, Sairam, sister.
Yeah, so here I've said we are Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, and bliss. That is the true knowledge. So essentially, we are bliss itself. There's no difference between you and me. And I do the different sadhanas. I think Swami's 9-point code of conduct is a very good guide for all of us because it covers Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. So based on those 9-point code of conduct, which I use as a guide, I do all these different sadhanas, and it is helping me to procure this learning. No?
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's all from me, brother. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you, Sairam. Can we have Sister Cindy?
Yeah, hi, Sairab.
Yeah.
For me, what it meant living life with a higher purpose would be living life with full surrender. So I guess in a way being detached. So it's not the fancy being detached where you go you go and live in an ashram and give up everything, but not taking everything you do day to day too seriously. Having that sense of faith that whatever happens is for a greater purpose, for some sort of learning, and view it in that perspective. Sairam.
Sairam, Sister Cindy. Fantastic sharing. Can we have Sister Shanta?
Sairam, brother.
Sairam, Sister Shanta.
As I already said, what I do now is practice, prayers, do my meditation and namasmarana, which gives a lot of happiness to me and peace of mind. So that builds on my conscience, that gives me a lot of peace. And whenever possible, I help even in a small way, not only my family members, but all the needy people, whoever it may be, in whatever way I try to help them. So that gives me a lot of happiness and peace. And also, I used to read a lot of Swami's messages and videos. Saira.
Sairam, sister. Thank you for sharing. Can we have, is Sister Veron here? Okay. So Sister Veron said that we are embodiment of love, and with Swami's guidance and others, we can cultivate divine energy to elevate us and surrender to Swami and let go of the unhappiness. So it's I think a lot of us mentioned about the the Advaita teaching from from the Advaita teaching, which is somewhat the true knowledge, and also the other aspect, which is something simpler and which also means the same thing, which is full surrender and embodiment of love, and how can we use our personal sadhanas, as Sister Sharmini mentioned earlier, using the 9-point code of conduct which Swami has detailed for us as a guide to navigate through this life. And by following that, Sister Geeta also mentioned constantly being wired to those conducts, those 9 points, will surely bring out the happiness within our hearts. And Sister Shanta also mentioned that with constant practicing of prayers, meditation, namasmarana, and all these types of sadhanas, it brings us a lot closer to happiness, and also brings out the happiness from within and gives a lot of peace from within yourself as well. So with that, I think we can conclude today's session. Suresh Anil, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, just 2 minutes more we have. Just to say that, you see, one of the way, whilst all have mentioned different sadhana practices, or every one of these sadhana practices we continue to do, we will achieve our results. But Swami said in the Jnana Vahini, 2 things we must have. And I always remember this because easy to remember is like identity card. You know, when in Malaysia, we need to have an identity card. So we always say wherever we go, we should have IC. Do you have the IC? We'll say. So we go to the police station or we go anywhere, we have to carry that IC. So that abbreviation for IC is very good, which means Baba said, we need to continuously, we must have intense questioning. We must have. That means the questioning must continue, must be intense. Number 2, we must have it continuous. That means not only we must have intensity in our questioning, but we must be continuous in the questioning, continuous in the yearning. So today you do, and then 3 days later we do, and then 4 days. So that continuity is lost means we can't build it up. The consciousness expansion is only based upon how continuous we are. It's like muscle. If you go to gym 2 days, twice or thrice a week, and then you miss 1 month and then go back, you have to start back again, because the muscles gets relaxed. Like that, consciousness is also like muscle. You have to build it up. So the IC is intensity. Intense is intense questioning, and that intense questioning must be continuous. Then you will find that it will build up. So often we find that in our sadhana practices, if we just keep doing the same thing as how we are doing it, but if what we do, if it is not accompanied by a kind of an inner quest, then we will find that the existing practices also may tend to become a ritual. And then the ritual will tend to make it complacent, and then we'll start to just do it without getting depth. So I think Swami's thing is that whatever ritual that we're doing, whatever practices that we're doing, we must continue to increase the intensity and the continuity of the practice. The key word is intensity. That one must keep going like that, because then it will open many doors inside, and we will continue to use the same practice in greater depth to bring out that aspect of our spirituality to be deeper. So I just wanted to add that point to all these practices that we're doing. In any case, we had a very nice time. The 3 things we need to remember. Sabitan, have you finished, or is there some more things that you need to cover next week?
Sairam, can I tell something?
Please, Rajasthan.
Can I tell?
Yes.
It's, I think the most simplest way to be happy is love all, serve all, help, ever, hurt, never. You have to go deep into that and practice every day, every minute. You're always happy. The simplest way Swami has taught us.
Simple, yeah.
That's what I think. Sairam.
Nice. Love all, serve all. Sabitan, have we finished this session, or next week we still have yours?
We have another question, question number 4.
Okay, never mind. Then we do next week. Then after that, we'll do the group 3, yeah?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Sairam. We'll meet all of you again next week. Sairam.
Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam. Thank you, everyone.
Sairam, thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Sairam, thank you.
Sairam, thank you.